There you go, baby.
You are now plugged into the Social Plug Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Jerry Sauceda in the house here with the team from Social Plug Media on another episode of the Social Plug Podcast. And we are broadcasting you right here from Greenleaf Studios at Greenleaf Health and Wellness, guys. Make sure to stop by, stop through, check them out in store, in person, right here in New Braunfels, y'all. Hey, I'm super excited about today. You know what we do on the Social Plug Podcast? We connect you to level up. We bring ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You are officially plugged in to the Social Plug Podcast. So my man behind the scenes back there, JRock in the house. What's happening, brother? How you feeling, man?
What is up, man? I'm feeling good, ready for the week, man, and I'm excited for today.
Hey, how many pair of sunglasses do you own, bro? I mean, I feel like you have so many. You got a different pair of sunglasses on.
Right. Actually, I just got these this past weekend at wrestling at AEW Collision. There's this guy his name's Orange Cassidy. He does this, so like you can see his little thumbs up on the shades. But I only own like maybe 3 or 4 shades that are here at the studio.
Yeah.
So I usually lose them and break them. So.
Bruto, bro. Bruto. Hey, so I couldn't let you outdo me. I saw that you had that fresh fade, so went and got my hair cut right here, too. So
had to get it
looking good, feeling good,
Shout
man.
out to your sister, bro.
That's how we do it. Hey, speaking of shout-outs right there, man, shout out to our sponsor, Dat DJ Yaw. So we'll be sharing more about them a little bit later in the show. But as of right now, man, I just want to give some accolades, some background about our guest on the show today. So 3-time Grammy Award-winning artist, advocate, influencer, multi-generational musician, and man, he is just making waves on the scene of music, crossing boundaries like never done before, and my long-lost cousin as well, as I recently found out. But man, as I'm super excited, I know it's been a long time coming. I've had the opportunity to work with this individual in the past at some major events, but now we got him in studio here today. So man, I want to welcome none other than Sonny Sauceda. What's happening, Sonny?
Howdy, how you doing? Howdy. New Braunfels, Texas, and the world. The world. Howdy. Well, thank you for having me. First of all, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I really like your setup, and what I like even more is your last name. It's so good. That is the last name of a great man. Very many great men, and many generations of great men. But it's an honor to be here, honestly, and I'm humbled to be here. I've been watching your podcast, and I've been sharing it. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna be on that?" It looks cool, man. It looks really good, really sharp. I love content. I love movies. I love anything creative. So I'm always studying. I'm a student of life, of art, of everything around me. So I'm just taking it all in. It's like it looks good. Great job, guys. Great job,
dude. Thank you for the compliments. Yes, and Sauceda, we are adding to the legacy of that name, bro. So, yes. Hey, and something I found out, I think I didn't really realize because our history has been more in the context of just music and events.
Yes.
So, we've had some paths cross. You've performed at some events that we've held locally here, and so I much appreciated that. But we've really had some time now to just have some conversation as people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been good.
And so I've gotten to know more and more.
Yes.
If anything, I already knew. I feel like Sonny could be a walking cartoon character. That's kind of the way I put it.
have a cartoon. Did you see it?
Do you?
You ever seen my cartoon yet?
No. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I say that because seriously, I mean, you're so eclectic in just your persona.
Oh man.
And what I love about that is because sometimes I think it would be easy for people to put you in a box of like, oh, that guy that plays the accordion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, and there's so much more to you, right? So let me ask you this right now before we jump in. I would love to hear more about your background. Want to share with our listeners. But, man, what is happening in your current world right now, man? It just seems to be.
Man. Well, let me tell you, I just had chicken tacos. No, I'm just playing with you. That's it. That's the highlight of my day. No, I'm just playing. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Of course, we're going to, tonight is Premios Tejanos Mundial. We're nominated for 2 awards. One is for Social Artist of the Year. Go figure, right? Go figure. I've never been nominated for Social Artist of the
What exactly
of the year.
is that?
I'm assuming it's like I'm guessing that it's like the artist who is the most prominent, prevalent, or relevant in the social media sphere,
okay.
right? So, you know, I know there are some other artists that probably have more followers, but as far as engagement, as far as content, as far as consistency, I can say that I don't know anybody who's more. I mean, I literally, for everything, I'm creating content. Like, I'll probably make content for today. And I've already asked when what's the first thing I asked for you? What did I ask you for?
He goes, hey man, is there any way we can get get the clips after this? I said, heck yeah, man, we'll get you taken care of, brother.
I showed up all with my demands. Here's what I want. I want it like this and like that. I want them 6 seconds long. You know,
Exactly.
So that's what's happening. Of course, we're working on a new record, Tejano record. I'm working on. I just cut 3 singles in the Texas country market. I'm working on a trilingual song with Alex Meixner, which is going to be Spanish,
Nice.
English, and Czech. You know,
awesome.
still working with Steve Trevino, AJ Vallejo, all the crew here in New Braunfels. You know, we're doing that. We're touring. What else am I doing? I forget. And still putting out content, performing. And, you know, there's dad, and then there's the business owner, dad. And
Yeah, man.
So there's a bunch of stuff going on, and almost all at the same time, and we're just kind of juggling it all. Right?
There you
It's
go.
like, okay, it's time for this. Okay.
You know what's great about the fact that, like you said, and I agree with you too, man.
Yeah.
Every opportunity is an opportunity for content capturing, and so you know I see a lot of your TikToks that you post, things that you share, and it's like I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm traveling with Sonny. I get to experience all this life, you know, behind the scenes stuff, or and so I want to ask about that, and you're rocking it right now. So we just mentioned Grammy Award winner.
We're at the Grammys.
Ooh. You were just at the Grammy, and we're not
Yeah.
talking about the like sideshow or anything like that, or the backyard party.
Yeah,
this was
is
the Grammys.
Yes, the Grammys.
What was that experience like?
It was great. This is probably my 8th time there, 7th time there, and it was cool to be. It's always good to see. It's always good to be part of it, because here's what happens: is that it recalibrates you, right? It either recalibrates you, or it just inspires you. But I'm always kind of one of those guys. What are you feeding your brain? You know, what are you feeding your brain? Whatever you feed your brain. So I'm always feeding myself, like, you know, keeping myself, you know, at a certain frequency. And so I really very seldom have like, oh, I'm in a funk. No, not really, not on my watch. So, but what it really does is recalibrate you. Because I went kind of like, I wanted to go just to enjoy the show. I'm not doing red carpet. I'm not doing media. I'm calling my friends that are up there. But I'm a board of governor for the Texas chapter of the Grammys. I'm a board of governor.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm a former vice president of the Texas chapter, and so we have the Texas chapter. We were almost all going, so a lot of our friends were there. So it's kind of
So every state is represented or has a chapter that is.
Yes, every state. Well, not every state, but I think we have like 13 chapters, I believe. I could be wrong, but we have several chapters. I know California has one, New York, Chicago, Florida, Nashville, and that's all I remember. Atlanta, and so we were there with Texas. So you know, we were there, kind of representing. So I wear my sports coat. I was all blacked out, just wearing my hat, some shades. I didn't know we were wearing shades today. I did not get the memo. My shades were right there. I was like,
you're more than welcome.
I didn't want to wear them. I said, nah, this guy, man, Grammy winners, they always wear shades. They can't even look at you. So I was like, nah. But you know, so you know what happened. But when I got there, I was like, oh. And Vicky's like, my wife. She's like, because I have, you know, I wear these like bling pants, you know, or she'll, you know, bling them out for me. And in Tejano and in Texas country, it's like, whoa. But man, when you go to the Grammys, that's low key.
Right.
That's low key. It's like,
You better be showing some leg or
I was like,
something.
man, I said, shoot, I should have worn my assless chaps, man. Shit. There was a guy with blinged out boots. I was like, he had blinged out. I was like, man, I got to get me some of those. I won't stop them, but I started looking it up I Googled it real quick. Well, how do you get? So it just kind of reminds you of, you know, where you need to be. It kind of resets your bar. Okay, you know, no matter how over the top I think I am, you know, it just, you know, your perspective, like, oh, remember there was a guy with the suit, and he had like little stuffed animals like sewn onto the whole suit. There was a guy that looked like a prince. There was a guy that looked like a prince. It was almost like a Halloween party. It was everybody over the top. You know, the country guys, they were, fancy.
Well, and I got to say, you go to an environment like that, and I think for being maybe a dreamer and a visionary the way
Yes.
you are, right? At sometimes you are so limited by your own dreams, your own possibilities of thinking of like, okay, that's a stretch, maybe that's possible. You go somewhere else.
Yes.
You start surrounding yourself with some people where you're like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what happens. You know, when you become like the biggest, the most important guy in the room, it's time to go to another room. And that's what happens. You go, wow, but even when you go and you're nominated, it's a whole different world. I mean, this year was different because a lot of the times I remember when we were nominated, even if you didn't win, you wore your medallion, right? And it's, it looks like a gold medal, right? And you're walking around and they see you like, oh, hey, congratulations. And that's
like you were nominated.
Yeah,
right?
you're nominated. You get a big old, it's from Tiffany's, real beautiful, medallion, little, and it's brass and or bronze, I don't know, something like that, gold, whatever it is, and so it's a talking piece. You go and you meet, hey, my name's so and so. It's a handshake and a card. Oh, what do you do? Oh, here. But the other thing you notice, is that you realize how small the world is, right? And how attainable things are, and how it's not that hard. It's just a matter of, you're consistently, I learned a long time ago, you are on, you're a self-promoting machine every day. Every day. So it's that game, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, but it just reminds you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: were you there? Were you at the Grammys, like fangirling over anybody? Was there a particular artist, celebrity, anybody that you're just?
I was
Still awestruck?
I was excited to see. Yeah, you're gonna laugh. I was excited that Oprah was there.
Oh yeah.
I was excited that Oprah was there. I really was, because she's a media mogul, right? And I always say, when I talk to people about, content, like, you got to think like you're Oprah. You got to think you have your own channel, and what do you want the world to see? So and that's what I do. That's my mindset. So I was, oh man, she's the she's the queen bee of all that stuff. Billy Joel. Oh man, Stevie Wonder. And then we all freaked out because we didn't know Celine Dion was going to be there. So even all the superstars on the floor, they were like, holy moly, that is Celine Dion. And I was like, wow, man. It was good. And then of course we got to meet, we've seen, like, I love Brothers Osborne.
Okay.
And they were there. They were at the pre-telecast. And I had already seen them in Nashville, and I got to take a picture of one of the guys. And but then they were in the pre-telecast, everybody just sits everywhere, right? And then after the show, we all go to the lobby, and they have like the snacks and the beer, whatever.
Okay.
And they were just walking around. I got to meet the bass player from Metallica.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but the bass player.
I don't know either.
I mean, it wasn't Cliff, so Cliff was the original bass
it's the
player.
new one, right?
The new guy.
Yeah, it's the new guy. I forget his name.
Yeah. I mean, Cliff or the other, man, now I have drawn a blank. There was two bass players before him. And but that was cool. So those are the people. I mean, Luke Combs passed right by us. We were at the pre-telecast, and Vicky's like, oh my gosh, it's like Cliff. Yeah, I think so. And I was like, oh yeah, it is. But he's a country guy, and they're real nice and humble. And it was, if Billy Joel had passed by, I was like, oh man. So I was like, holy moly, that's Billy Joel. I was like, I said, he passed by me.
So I gotta imagine there is probably some 5-year-old kid out there that is walking by or seeing a Sonny Sauceda saying, "Oh, that is Sonny."
Maybe.
Right? Hey, and so I want to so a 5-year-old, maybe looking up to you saying, "Sonny." So let's here you are. We're talking about the Grammys, 3-time Grammy Award winner. You got Harpo in the house, Oprah out there, right?
Yeah.
All these kind of things. But what most people may not know, you were that 5-year-old child at one point in time, right?
So absolutely was.
You were just telling me over 40 years now.
Yes.
You've been
playing music.
Playing music.
40
Tell us that story. What was that like? How did Little Sonny get started?
Yes.
Where did that all begin?
My dad played music. My dad played music. My grandfather played music, and I believe I'm like 7th or 8th generation musician. So it was just a family business. My dad was a musician, and what do we all want to do when we're little boys? We want to be like our dads. That's what we want to do. Dad's playing. I want to go. I want to see. And Mom, I don't know if my mom didn't trust my dad. I mean, my dad did have 7 daughters that he knew about, so maybe. I don't know. I was my...
Now, what kind of music was your dad playing?
It was conjunto. It was
Okay.
conjunto music, and he did conjunto and Tejano. I mean, orquesta. He didn't do orquesta at that time when I was growing up, but he did orquesta, and his name was Mario Alberto, and everybody knew him as Mario Alberto Sauceda. But we'd go to the gigs. I was a kid. I was 1, 2, 3 years old. I'd bang on chairs. Everybody thought I was gonna be a drummer. I wasn't a drummer. I was gonna become a drummer. So that's how I kind of started. I'd be screaming off the top of my head, off my lungs, and just getting into it. I was always into it, always energetic. And in my mind, I was shy. But I asked my mom the other day, I think during Christmas, and I shared that TikTok. I said, Mom, tell everybody how shy I used to be. She's like, shy? You've never been shy. It's like, you were always blah, 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 blah. Even when you were a baby, you talked to winos and stuff like. And we lived on the west side, off of Mayfield or something. And she said, you would talk, you were babbling. We didn't know what you were saying, but you were talking already. I said, I guess. I don't. In my mind, I thought I was shy. Nope, you're not shy.
You're like, it was shy compared to Sonny today.
Exactly. I was like, but that's how I started. My dad, and then he of course I started singing when I was about, I think I was 3 when I started singing. 3, 4, and then finally at 5, I got on stage and started singing. I would sing one song, and then my dad would take a colcha and a pillow, and I would sing my song, and then like at 9 or 10, I would put the colcha and the pillow behind the bass amp, and I'd sleep during the show. Yeah, and so that's how I grew up. Yeah, and so we grew up with music. My dad played music at home, and I'd want to play, I just had a passion where I grew. It was like I said, that's all I knew, and
right.
We didn't have video games. We didn't have we didn't have air condition. We didn't have cable, so I had instruments. My friends had cable. I had instruments. Outlet, right? Yeah, that's my outlet. Yeah. And so it kept me off the streets, kept me out of trouble.
So people may not know then, 5-year-olds today, they're maybe stuck behind a phone or an iPad and saying, hey, I want to be the next YouTube star, and that's how they're making money. Yeah. You were making money at 5 years old.
Yeah, I was. Yep.
You were making money at 5 years old.
I was making $5 a night. Come on.
Yeah. Have you ever considered doing anything different if you weren't a musician?
I have. I think that I had not become a musician. I don't think that would. I've always had an inclination for teaching, because my father he had me at an older age, right? So when growing up with my dad, he was very wise beyond his years. He had a lot of dichos, a lot of great wisdom. He grew up with older people. My grandfather was older when he had my dad, so all that was passed down to me. So I may be 46, but really I'm like 150, right? Because I'm just old, and that I really get along with people that are, I can talk to a 95-year-old, I can talk to a 5-year-old, and everywhere in between, right? Because I'm 46, but my mind is way ahead, and I already know, and it's happened to me several times already. So the thing is, I would be teaching, and I still like to teach. I like to say, when you're a father, you are already a teacher. You already are, But I love teaching. I love kids. I love the youth. I never really had I never had a normal childhood. My wife said, you've never been normal, right? Yes, I have. She says, no, you've always been Sonny el Músico since you were little. So you're always kind of treated a little different. Oh, el Músico. Oh, where are you going this week? I got to go play with my dad. Wow. Oh, you're playing this weekend? Where are you playing? It's always been like that. Yep. But I gravitate towards teaching, towards educating, towards lecturing. I've always been that way. And as I get older, I used to make fun of my dad. He asked me one question. I would ask him one thing. And he gave me this big old story. Dad, I just needed a yes or no. And now I am that man. Now I'm my father now.
You're dropping parables and analogies.
Man. I mean, Jerry, you don't really need to be here. I can do this by myself, honestly. Really.
Hey, to your point though, and that's probably one of the things why our conversations resonate, man. I just love being, like you said, a student of life, being a teacher, being very observant. And I'm a father too. So I have a daughter. She's 17, and we were going going through one of those real life teaching moments. And actually, just this morning, she needed to go get her oil change on her car. She's about to be 18 in a couple months, graduating from high school. And I was like, okay, real world, real life opportunity here, right?
Absolutely.
And I said, so here's where you're going to go. Here's what you got to do. I provided you enough. Go make it happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She sent me a Snapchat like it was the end of the world. She's like, don't ever send me to do this again. I said, well, tough child. I said, if the worst thing you have to do right now at 17 is go figure out how to get an oil change on your car.
I would have said, figure it out. Where do they do oil changes at? What do you mean? Well, yeah. Well, what do you need to get done? Well, you need to look to see where they do that. And you find out where do you do that?
We used to have a telephone telephone book that you had to go through, right? To go look back in the day.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, because
they got Google.
Because right now it's oil change, and later it's gonna be, something else bigger in life, and Dad might not be around. So I've always used this, and my teachers used to do this. They'd me think. I said, you have something between your ears. What is it? It's a brain. I said, you need to learn how to think for yourself. I said, I'm not gonna tell you. I've tried to make them. I come on, and I'll give her hints. I'll give them hints. How do you do this? Okay, you figure it out. How are you going to do it? Talk yourself through it. Okay. Take a deep breath. It's not the end of the world. And that's how you learn to fish, and that's, But our daughters, I mean, I probably taken her. I'll take it, baby. Don't worry about it.
I got it.
Take your car. But that's, that's how it is, right?
Yeah. Hey, so let's speak in it. So there you are. You're 5-year-old. You're getting opportunities, making some money. You're becoming Sonny the musician, right?
Yeah.
Where when did the accordion come into the picture?
I never liked the accordion, honestly. I don't know if I do yet. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to stick with it.
You're like, Jerry, the accordion's just like you. I don't need you, bro. I'll just let me go after
it.
it.
You, dog. I'll just sing my own licks now. Come on, dog. I got this. I think, the accordion, how I started tinkering with it when I was about 15, 16. And I've always had an accordion, honestly. That's the weird thing. And you know what we used to do with the accordion? We turned it to the side and played tiendita on the accordion. It was the cash register for our store. We didn't have anything. We just had instruments. I just told you, remember?
There you go.
And so it was the store. And I never liked it. My dad had an accordion player. And sometimes he'd leave the accordion and I would mess with it. I was like, man, I don't even, how does this thing work? It's like a machine. How do you make it go? It looked like it seemed so hard. And I was like, I don't make it work. And so finally one day I had learned, I was already going down the line, bass, guitar, bajo sexto, drums, saxophone, keyboard. I was like, man, I got to figure this thing out. It's making me mad. So I was upset. Like I couldn't figure it out. So I literally got a pitch pipe, which for those of you who don't know what a pitch pipe is, it's what we used to use when we didn't have a tuner. We didn't have a tuner, and so it's a little thing that you plays the notes for you. It's like a harmonica almost, and then you go dee 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 dee. And I got the pitch pipe, and I figured out every note on the accordion, and I made a little grid, and I wrote all the notes out. I got a piano book, started looking up chords. Okay, so just read this chord, and then I started writing my own accordion chord book for myself because there was nothing out there.
That's incredible.
Not like on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube now. Y'all spoil kids.
Now you're doing this, and this whole time this is all happening. You said you're raised in the country.
Yeah, I was raised in the country. I'm a country boy.
So you're a country boy.
Mexican redneck. Come on.
Right. So all that's happening. You're putting all that together. You're making that happen. How old were you at this time?
At that time, I was about 16. I started learning theory and band, and my dad took me to a piano teacher, and so I was already a musician. I was just learning another instrument. So I was applying what I knew on bajo sexto because that was bass and bajo sexto, and I was applying it to the accordion. It's like, oh, okay. And then my accordion player taught me a scale or two, and then I think I went for an accordion lesson with Valerio Longoria, who's a legend. He's a pioneer. Was a pioneer. He's not alive, no longer alive, but. It's funny. He gave me an accordion lesson. He taught me a polka called La Barranca, very simple polka, the beginner polka. And what did I do? I learned it, and then I changed it up. He's like, no, así no se toca. I was like,
remix.
I was like, no, I want to do it like this. He's like, no, así no se toca. And then I told my dad. He got mad at me, Dad. Why? Well, because I changed it. He's like, let me go talk to him. And then he said to me, well, it's not that. It's that you're honestly, you need private because you're already you're already too advanced. I need you to play like them. And if you play like you're going to throw everybody else off. So my dad's there like, maybe you don't need lessons then. Maybe you need to go. And so I just kind of learned on my own. And
So you were like that prodigy in the classroom that's like, hey, come on, like I can take all this in and I can make it my own. But like you said, you're kind of
Like-
ruining the curve.
like what's the movie? Oh my gosh, with the piano players, Mozart, Amadeus. You remember Amadeus?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
Amadeus. That's about.
I am the worst person to ask about movie
Oh
references.
my gosh,
so you
Amadeus.
can ask my buddy John.
Remember Amadeus,
so.
right, Johnny? Yeah, Amadeus. He walks in there. One of the conductors is playing a part, and he can hear him through the door. And he goes back in. He goes, "Oh, I like that little thing you're doing, but I would do it like this. Let me show you." And he never, dude. And that's what I would do, and it just happened.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool.
So let me ask you. I mean, you're big on wisdom,
Yes.
teaching. You said you're about 150 in wisdom years now. So
Well, I'm a little kid, but it's wisdom. I'm going backwards on the other side.
So you're 46 now. You could go back and talk to the 16-year-old
man.
Sonny. What would you
16-year-old
tell him?
son. Slow down. Slow down. Be a kid. Slow down and be a kid. Enjoy being a kid. Enjoy being a kid. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy high school. Enjoy that part. And what happens when you're a visionary, what happens when you're somebody with a lot of foresight, you're always thinking 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I'm already thinking of college for my kids. I'm thinking of, okay, so you have to, I wish I had learned to live in the moment. That's my biggest challenge. Live in the moment. How do you live in the moment? Enjoy that moment in time, like right now. And so that's what I would have said to my 16-year-old self. Enjoy being 16. Enjoy high school. Enjoy your friends. But what happens when you grow up with a bunch of men? When you grow up with men and you're dealing with little boys, you can't relate because you already know. Like, no, that's not right. You're wrong. I grew up with, I was all my life, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds. Those are your friends. And you go to school and you're like, and the kids, you remember.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? I don't get it. No, I don't get it. So I could never really relate. I never really fit in anywhere. It was so weird.
Right. Dude, that is such good wisdom. And, even catching myself in conversations was recently having that same conversation with someone and just talking about like, hey, the reality is really what we only have is right now.
Yes.
Worrying about yesterday, thinking about tomorrow,
Yeah.
what's going to happen then, really is just in this moment. I mean, I get very cerebral in a lot of those kind of things, and but that is such good wisdom in imparting. And now let me ask you this. Do you still feel in some ways like, have you done a better job about being present fully now?
I have. Yes, I have.
Life here where you are?
I'm now the guy that says, I'm very appreciative. I'm grateful. I'm the guy who says, hey, bro, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I really do. I appreciate what you're doing. I respect what you're doing. I'm proud of what you're doing. Like, it makes me proud. Even when I used to see you online, I was like, man, that guy's doing good. I'm so proud of him. I want to reach out to him and just say, hey, dude, you're doing awesome. I love what you're doing. It's something that, because I take pride in that. I meet other Latinos, Mexicanos, whatever. I don't use that card that much. I don't like to use that card. I don't like to say that. But when I see it, I'm like, that is awesome. That's so cool. I think that's something that we don't get enough of. Like men, we don't get enough pats in the back. I get a lot of pats in the back because of what I do, and I feel so undeserving of it. But I think, because of what I do, which is not fair, but even just guys who are great mechanics, great carpenters, like, hey man, that's awesome what you do. I wish I knew how to do that.
Right.
I respect that. I can't, I can't, I don't even want to hang a frame, pictures on the wall. Nah, I'm gonna mess it up. I don't want to do it.
Right.
And so, or hang a ceiling fan. I don't want to get electrocuted. No, I'm gonna call somebody. No. So I've done a better job at that. I always, because I wrote a song called "Si No Te Vuelvo a Ver Mañana." One of my friends committed suicide, and it just kind of and it was during the 9/11 thing, like maybe a year before that, and it just kind of makes you realize, like, and when I do sing it, I talk about that. like right now may be the last time you and I get to talk. You may not see me in 5 minutes. I could get on the highway and boom, man, he was doing great, man. Wow, we had a good conversation. And you're like, man, I should have told him, and that's awesome. So I really believe that, you have to check your ego, you have to check your pride, and, because, my dad wrote a song called Canciones Tristes. He says, si de vivo eres grande, de muerto no eres nada. It doesn't matter what you do here, because when you're gone, you're nobody. It's nobody. You may be forgotten. So what do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered?
Right.
Want to be remembered as a guy that showed compassion, love, and pride, and who commended you on your accomplishments, because it feels good and it's good for everybody. I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you, I mean, everything that you're speaking is genuine and authentic.
Yeah.
And for someone like myself, I speak that from experience, because I can remember one of the first times getting a text message from Sonny. Him just out of the blue saying, bro, hey, you're doing a great job. I see, man, what you're doing. Hey, that was so cool. That was fun. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, is this Sonny, or is this your management team? Is this
what does he want? What does he want?
Exactly. What do you want? I mean, or sending a message, making a comment on things that we've got going on, and I'm like, man, that is real. The humility.
It means a lot, man. It means a lot, because even as much as like. When I saw you, Sonny, at the Goldberg and Steve Trevino thing, I was even a little nervous to even come and talk to you. Like you were saying, you see people at the Grammys, But we try not to use a Latino card either, but that's what I looked up to,
Of course, yes.
And from finding out from you a couple years ago who you were, because of Jerry and things like that, we look up to you, man. So it's one of those things too. Is like, man, to hear that, it's like, oh crap, okay. Yeah,
well, I really think it's important. I feel that, we're in business, but the business of business is not so much about the business as it is about the relationships that you create. The what is it? The 10.1, the Bible, Sales Bible 10.1 says, all things being equal, we prefer to do business with our friends. All things being not so equal, we still prefer to do business with our friends.
Wow. That's true. Yep.
It's the truth, and I just think that the other thing is that I truly believe that humility is a choice, right? Today I'm wearing a Grammy cap because I went to the Grammys, and I've been, talking about it this whole week, last week. But I prefer not to tell anybody what I do or my accolades. I don't want, I'm 3-time Grammy winner, Tejano Hall of Famer, 26 Tejano Music Award. I don't go around saying that.
Right.
I never, because I don't have to. And I think when you're humble and you're authentic and you're real, and then they find out what you do and what you've done, which means nothing, because we put our pants on the same way, right? And it comes with what I do and all the hard work, but it just means more, because then you get to meet the real people.
Sure. Yeah.
Because once they find out who you are, hey, how are you doing, buddy? I'm like, oh,
it's a facade, right? Exactly. That reminds. I literally was just going through. I was looking for a quote in some of my notes, and I had read this quote I put down in my phone, and it was from a sermon that I had heard my good buddy Dave share, and it said, "Humble and humility both get you to the same place, but in two very different ways."
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is such a good statement. Just kind of some of the things that you're talking about. But, to have this conversation now, to get to know Sonny beyond the musical.
Beyond the musical.
So let me, and thinking about that. So what are some of the ways that outside of music, what are some of the other ways that, hey, Sonny finds a way to just be creative, relax, enjoy family time? What are some of the other things that people don't see that you're like, man, that's what I enjoy. That's what I love
I think
about
the only
life.
thing I don't share on my TikTok is when I go to the restroom. Honestly, I mean, really,
Please don't.
There's very little unknowns about Sonny. I'm a big movie buff. I'm very simple. I like water stuff. Anything to do with water, I love it. That's why I live in New Braunfels. I don't even. Well, see, the thing is, I have a son who's special needs. So when we go to Schlitterbahn, I end up hanging out at the kiddie pool all day long, right? And I'm there, right, enjoying the kids, and of course, there's all the soccer moms, and that looks nice, right? And so I'm really simple, man. I like to relax because I live so fast. Right, like I live really fast, and And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that, it's like I'm going so fast. Everything's happening so fast. You never realize how fast you're going until you get off the race car. You never do. You never do. Because I've experienced it two times when I was with Eddie Gonzalez, and then when we broke up and I went with Vida, and then I left Vida, and then I saw everything we did. And I'm like, wow, we did all that. So I like to relax. The only things that pull me away from the business side is hanging out with my kids, because I'm a big kid, because I've never been a kid. So I love kids. I love kids. I just love kids. So I'll hang out with kids. I like to relax, watch movies, just go to do water stuff.
What's the favorite movie? What's the first movie that comes to mind when you're thinking, God, like that? I could watch that over and over.
Oh man, I can watch Gladiator over and over, dude.
Yeah,
Gladiator. That's one of my favorite movies.
Why do I feel like I could imagine a Sonny walking through the doors of the Coliseum, ready to?
I love it. I just that's one of my favorite movies.
At his next show, we're gonna see lions and tigers coming up from underneath the stage.
How'd you know?
Oh man, so cool. So yeah, and I love it. And like you said, I think we're so privileged talking about loving the water, but we live right here in a town where you got one of the biggest water parks in the world, right? Like so
big. What is it? What is it called? How does the commercial go?
The hottest, coolest time in Texas. Maybe you can record the Spanish version.
Hey, that's right. Come on.
Throw in a free season pass.
That's right.
Slitterbahn if you're watching.
Yeah, a lifetime pass. I don't know about a season pass. Come on. You gotta aim a little higher.
Hey, yes. I do want to ask if you mind me get a little bit personal, because I didn't know this, and when we were talking recently, you shared with me about your special needs son.
I do have a special needs son.
And so that community, and I've worked with special needs families and communities through my financial planning business and whatnot. So what is life like? What has it been like? Being the
parent,
taking care of, having a child.
It's when it first happens to you, it turned your world inside out. Okay, the good thing about when it happened to us, not that it's a good thing, but we were older. Okay, we weren't 19, 20. We were, my wife was 20, 28, 29. Something like that. No, we were older, because we were married for 9 years before we had kids. We got married in our 20s. And so we were already, seasoned. We were more seasoned in life, right? We weren't out of high school. And, it turned your world inside out. And you go to the hospitals and the doctors are, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I said, whoa, why? Why do I need to do that? Tell me why. I'm not gonna do it just because you say. You need to tell me why. And so we would challenge the establishment all the time. Wow. And there's another void to fill there. And I've given it to several people. Like, whoever does it's gonna be a billionaire. And so the thing is that there's no advocates, right? They have social workers. There's not an advocate. There's a difference. So it's like I said, it's like it's a living nightmare, and my son has epilepsy. And so it's challenging, it's challenging, and you're going to either be a victim or a victor. And you have to make a choice. And we chose to be victors. We're going to beat this. We're going to find out why. We're going to do everything we can. No stone will be left unturned, right? If we have to go to Houston, we'll go to Houston. Go to Dallas. Next, if we have to go to Ohio, whatever it takes, we got to do it. So you become a champion for your son, your child. And, we learned a lot from my son, though. He's such a happy kid, You only know what you know, right? And you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So he doesn't know. He doesn't know that that's not normal for him not to talk and not to walk. I mean, I think maybe now he knows, because he sees his brother and sister walking around. And, he can't, I know it's frustrating for him. So it's hard to see that. It's hard to see that. Your son, when he first got sick, it was a normal pregnancy. Everything was fine. Test, everything came out good. And I would see a son and a father and son. I'm like, man, it's a hard pill to swallow. And the first thing you do is blame yourself. What did I do wrong? Really? Why is this happening to me? And my producer, one of my producers, he's a pastor, and I would tell him, bro, why is this happening? And he says, well, why not you? I said, well, what do you mean, why not me? He's like, God gave up his only son for us. I was like, wow. I said, you're going to be a testament to people. said, what? I am? He said, yeah. And so little by little, and then, not to segue to a song, but then I started thinking, well, okay. And then that's when I came out with the song called Dios, Familia y Música. So it inspires us. It's hard to see, but, my son's like our hero, man. He inspires me every day. But it is challenging, and I know it is challenging. And I say challenging for us, but hey, it's not happening. It's not even happening to me. It's happening to him.
Right.
He's living it.
Right.
He's going through it, not me. I mean, if I could trade places with him, I would trade places with him in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Because I've already lived my life. I've lived 200 years in this 46 years. Live fast. So it's something that you have to, you have to be strong. You have to be strong for your child. And, if you don't know what it's like, it's everything is harder and not as easy, It's not like I can get on, on Craigslist, on eBay or on Facebook and, we need a sitter. No, it has to be a special sitter. Somebody who special needs, CPR,
right.
All these things, all these qualifications, their background, are they going to, with any child in general, but with the special needs child. I mean, my own mother is scared to take care of my son. And that's his grandmother, So, and, just to, imagine somebody who's a stranger that they don't know,
Sure.
they would freak out.
Yeah.
Even the nurses at school freak out. And I have to educate them. I have to look, we've been dealing with this for 14 years now. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. Don't overthink it.
Yep. And so you've imparted so much to us, shedding some light in that world of special needs, your experience and what that's like, y'all's relationship through it. And you talked about him being an inspiration, and you've alluded multiple times now, inspiration into your music. What is that creative writing process like for you when you're thinking about does it come to you when man, this is a song? This is inspiring me musically.
Absolutely.
What has that been like? What for you as far, like I said, that creative writing process? Do you know, what, I'm going to go take a vacation and I'm going to write an album?
Yeah. It happens.
Or
it's
life
like a
just happens and it comes.
Life happens. It's a muscle. I mean, I just wrote a song that's going to be on my new Texas Country album. What did we call it? I Miss You. I Miss Us. I Miss Us. I'm going to be married for 25 years. Well, we've been together for 25 years, and like every couple, we have up and downs. We have our peaks and valleys, and we aren't who we used to be 25 years ago, and we were going through a hard time in our marriage, and I didn't plan to write it, Jerry. I didn't plan to write that song. My producer's like, "What do you want to write about?" I said, "I don't know, but here's an idea," and then it just came out. I miss us. I miss who we were with kids. Have we gone too far to go? Are we done? And no, so it's a real life story. Some are real life stories, some are ideas, but it's a creative outlet, and it's part of who I am. So it's so therapeutic, though. Wow. It's so therapeutic. That's what music is. It's therapy. It's therapy. It's like physical fitness. It's like So I enjoy it because again, it's therapeutic. And it's like Dick Clark said, music is a soundtrack of our life. So when I hear, Dios ame la música or El Hombre Más Rico, an album I did for my dad, it reminds me of that time, when I recorded that. So it takes you back, so it just kind of just a reminder, songs that I've done. But I love it. It's just so exhilarating. I can never get enough of it, right? And then sometimes we have our ruts where, there's too much noise. What does that mean? What does noise mean? Well, I mean, shoot, on my way over here, I'm talking about a booking. I'm sending you my check-in, like I'm gonna be there. I'm running a little behind. I'm talking to Patsy Torres about her sound check. I'm, talking to my drummer about this, and there's too much sensory overload. So the thing is clearing your mind. How do you do that? And that's the biggest challenge for artists nowadays. And because you're a musician, but you're also a content creator because you're a musician. You have to be. You have to be. My oldest daughter, is an amazing singer. But she's horrible at social media.
Oh, really?
And I hope you're watching this.
That's so surprising. How could this next generation? But I guess you got those, right?
Well, here's the thing. There's two types that I've seen so far. There's the girls who don't have as much talent, but they're flaunting their body parts, right? And they have a lot of followers, okay? And then there's the girls that are beautiful, and super talented, like my daughter. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, Victoria, you have to do this. If you want to do this, this is part of it. This is part of it. This is, you cannot, there's no way out of it. This is not even an option. Unless you got a lot of, $1 million or 100,000 to pay, Social Plug Media to do your media for you, right? And in a perfect world, that would be great. But it's still not going to be the same. You have to do it. Until you're like a Gary Vee, where you have your whole crew with you, then you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, so we live in that world where I hear everything is content for us. We'll be sharing and using this. I follow a number of influencers, content creators. It seems like you love that world.
I do.
Who are some of the creators, content creators, marketers that you're following that you're like, man, they catch my attention. I like what they're doing. It's funny. It's entertaining.
Yeah, well, I really watch Gary Vee a lot. I really do.
Yeah?
I really do watch Gary Vee a lot. There's other guys that I usually watch a lot of. Of course, Tony Robbins. There's Grant Cardone and Brant. What's his name? Brant something. Oh, there's another. He looks kind of like Grant Cardone. Brant. Oh my gosh, his name Brant. There's
Russell Branson or Russell.
I can't remember his name.
There's a ton of them out there.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. But I'm always so into mindset, right? So there's even doctors that I used to watch, and I'm drawing a blank on them right now but I follow a lot of that stuff. I just I'm like Johnny Five. Come on, give me more input, more input, more input. So there's several of them. I wish I could name them off the top of my head, but for sure Gary Vee. And the thing is that I always say this to everybody. I said, don't overproduce it. It just and I'm paraphrasing this. It's just you're documenting. Now I'm starting to put like the logo stingers and all these other things because I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. I watched some of my old videos like that when I was doing it. That was horrible. I was like, what was I thinking? Why did I sound? And I said, man, I was such a nice guy back then. What happened?
Yeah.
Now I'm more. I was such a nice guy. Now I'm old.
That's too nice.
I'm older and I'm a little grouchy, and I'm not. It's just my. What is the word I want to use? Just my tolerance is like almost to zero, right? And like I'm no longer the guy that yeah. I'm like no, wait a minute, no, wait a minute, Jerry. I don't know about that, Jerry. I don't know about that, and so. I'm more vocal about, and I'm just, but I think it comes with age, You're younger than me.
I am.
So when
I just turned 39.
Yeah, talk to me when you're 45, 46. You know what? I talk to my older sisters like, you just finally get tired of the BS.
Hey, so let me ask you this. So what's also a little bit loud is some of your dancing and choreography on stage.
Right.
So do you do your own choreography? Who comes up with the dances for the band? Hey, and big shout out! Big shout out to Sunny Sauceda y Todo Eso.
Yeah,
right? Like, man, that's the group, right?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So what is that like when y'all are like, here's the routine?
It's So the funny part is that my percussionist hype man is an actual dancer. He is literally a dancer, and he did folklorico and all these other things. He used to be a dancer for Pachi Torres, and so. I'm more of a wild child, and I'm just always coming up with new stuff. Really, the one that's making up the stuff is me, but he kind of just like, well, do it this way, and let's keep this formation now. And he said, stay right here. Don't go too much. Go, but come back to. So it's kind of a little bit of both of us,
He's got the artistry.
Yeah, he's more like, I know. I was like, oh, okay. And, because before, if you see my, 2012 videos, I'm like, everybody thought I was like a cokehead or something. Like, what's wrong with this guy? And I'm like jumping around. I'm like running across the stage, and I'm like boing, boing, boing everywhere. Like, what in the world? And I look back, I'm like, oh, no wonder they thought I was on drugs.
Right, there's no finesse.
It's just like I'm like freaking Ric Flair, like, woo! Like, come on! But I was jogging like 6 miles a day back then, right? Now I just stroll to the kitchen now. Like,
there you go.
But but that's what happens there. But it's fun, and it's another extension of my artistry, right?
There you go.
The whole shaking my ass thing was just a one-upper.
Hey,
It's a one-upper.
to that point, so to your artistry and that shaking that fundillo. So
fundillo.
there's correct me if I'm wrong. There's another nickname, McStuffins.
They call me Saucy McThickums.
McThickums.
Saucy McThickums, because I'm thick. And I like them thick. I like it chunky.
Who coined that name?
Oh, my friend, Ivan Carrion. Ivan Carrion said I was one of my viral videos, and remember when they had those memes, damn, was it you're thick boy, damn he's thick or something like that. It was some memes that were going around, damn he's thick, and then so it was one of the first times I kind of honed in on like, oh, it was a silhouette of me dancing vueltas y vueltas. It was in Victoria. And I could see my silhouette, right? And and I am thick. I'm thicker than I used to be skinny like you, and I was in my mid-20s. I used to run all the time, and now I'm beefy. I'm beefy. I used to lift a lot of weights, and then I started eating more tacos. I was fit but fat. The point is I'm fit but fat, and then I put the video. I put the video, and then I said, "Damn, you're thick." That's all I put on there.
Now, did you put thick, THICC, like thick?
I forgot how I think it was just THICCK.
Get that, JRock.
Yeah, he got it. He got it. And I put it on there.
Okay.
And then oh my gosh, dude, I did not know there were so many chubby chasers in the world. Oh my gosh.
Hey.
Holy moly.
I need to find these chubby chasers.
Come to my shows and you'll see it.
I'm definitely going to come.
But,
We got two nalgons in here.
They come in the same thing, brother.
Already?
Yeah, same.
There's not many of us,
Yeah, we're rare.
We're rare. So sometimes they call me an algon. I said, I'm all the ons. I said, what does that mean? I'm narizón, I'm panzón, I'm vergon, I'm cogelón, I'm comelón. I said, I'm the on. They're like,
For all the
I was like, okay. I said, come on, keep it going. Because I mean, it's weird though, and you can agree, right? It's almost like embarrassing, like it's too much.
Is,
like, because wait a minute, there's the dark side to this, right? Am I right?
Right?
There's a dark side. So I think I think on one of my videos I went to the gay side of TikTok, and now I'm getting guys, and that's fine. And if you're gay, it's cool. Like I'm not. Hey, it's all good. Hey, you like what you like. I'm not judging you. But it's not for me. I like güeras with green eyes. My wife's güera with green eyes. That's my jam.
Sonny, they're trying to buy your pants after the show.
Oh my God! They're trying to they want to get in the pants. They're trying to get in the pants, and I was like, it's weird. So it feels weird because I literally have even at my shows I've had even musicians they'll go by and they'll slap my ass. I'm like, really, bro? And it's just, man, I'm like, dude. And it's
what the hell, bro?
Hey,
Yeah.
you didn't know, but before you leave, we're gonna sign your pants for the podcast. Jerry was here.
Jerry was here.
Hey, so let me ask you about that. Your fans. You have any really crazy off the wall fan stories, concert stories, show stories that are just like you wouldn't believe it?
Well, I crazy like psycho crazy.
Whatever classification
Whatever
of
kind
crazy.
of crazy.
I mean,
Okay.
sometimes you hear about musicians and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh man, people just."
No, I don't have any real crazy ones. I actually have an inspirational one. I actually have a friend who I've known for many, many years, and he actually had his little boy. I don't even know. I think his son was sick, and they didn't know if he was going to make it through. And he actually had his boy dressed up like Sonny. Like he had the hat, the glasses, and the gloves, and he had it tattooed on his forearm, dude. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and he said it was like he dressed him up like that, and it was his source of inspiration because I think even my friend was like going through a really rough time in his life. Like wow. Depressed, suicidal, and he would listen to our music, and it would like lift him up.
Yeah.
And he'd like, man, I got to do this, and then. Later on in life, we kept in touch and we were friends. And then he became like one of my best friends, and we would train together. And he was like an MMA instructor, and then he like instilled all these things in me. And it's like, and he's 6'4", and like 350 pounds. He's a monster, bro.
Yeah.
He's a monster. And he's like, and we have like open mitts. He's like, I said, we're having open, come on, punch me. And then but I'm going to swing back at you. And I was like, dude, for real, he's like, don't be flinching, goddamn. And said, but what it taught me is that he's like, when you play with pit bulls, you're never going to be afraid of dogs. And it's really true, man. It's really true. But, and so, yeah, that was one of the stories that it was so weird that so when we got together for working out, I had torn my meniscus on a show. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of like, man, I had gained a lot of weight, a lot of weight. I was bigger than now. And I said, man, I need to do something. He said, well, I'll start training you. And then we've switched roles. Mm-hmm. Now he was inspiring me. Yeah. Now he was teaching me boxing, MMA, fitness. And I was in fitness, but I had just lost my way. And so it was like, he was inspiring me. Mm-hmm. And now he's in my head when I'm working out, whenever I'm doing stuff. Right. I always use I'm your real friend, Jerry. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Mm-hmm. And I added to that. I said, I'm not a fair-weathered friend. So I will always be honest with you. I say, if you let estás cagando, I'm going to tell you, right? Hey, dude, hey, when I have friends in the music business that have been controversial, and I've had those conversations. Hey, man, I'm your friend, dude. I'm not going to sit here and, I'm going to say, hey, bro, no, you shouldn't do that, So, that's one,
I could see.
Fan. He was my super fan, but then I became his fan.
I love that,
right?
man, and seeing that inspiration.
Right?
So, as much as I would have loved the crazy stories, right? But to hear that story, that inspiration.
Sorry, I have nothing but positivity, folks.
All right, sorry.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
But let me ask you. So, somebody is inspired by you. You inspire someone. Let me ask you this about thinking aspirations, collaborations. Mm-hmm. Is there an artist out there that you're like, man, I'm going to look in the camera right here and say, man, if you're out there listening, watching, I would love to collaborate with you.
Drink.
Drizzing, champagne popping.
Drake the Snake Roberts. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
I love it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
love it.
It'd be Willie Nelson, honestly. It'd be Willie Nelson. Willie, if you're watching this, I need to play accordion on your next song. That's the guy. That'd be the guy. That'd be the guy, Willie Nelson.
Hey, I would not be surprised if 6 months from now we see you on the stage together.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Playing Farmy? Oh my God, that'd be great.
We've done that with one person so far. That was Andre Bissett and Alex Meissner.
Super cool, man.
Then they ended up playing at the Braunfels a couple weeks ago.
Here, and then they got to play together.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Let's get this to Willie, man. So Willie Nelson and Sonny Sauceda.
Yeah, man, I'd love to. Man, that's next level, dude.
There you go. There you go. Crossing paths. I want to ask you about this. What is the state of Tejano music, Mexican music, things of that? So where do you feel? I mean,
Mexican music.
And I say that I want to give some perspective on it because I I grew up and thankful to my parents. I've been a DJ for almost 20 years now by hobby and passion. But I think people, especially older generation, I do some events and I'm playing some older Tejano music because my father was very much inspired by Agustin Ramirez, people like that, Ricky Naranjo. Yeah. My grandfather, Vicente Fernandez, man, he sounded like a splitting image of him.
Yeah.
So, but then you see today, and I do think it's a shift. It's a conglomerate of where we're at now, right, with generations. But where do you see that at now? What is the state of?
It's it's interesting and it's a little perplexing because we skipped a generation or two. It's interesting because, when Selena passed away, a lot of people kind of started shifting to regional Mexican, right? So the funny thing is that the kids who are listening to Peso Pluma are also listening to, Luke Combs, and they're Mexican American. They're American. I always say I'm American Mexican. I'm American first, okay? We live in Trump country. Come on now. We gotta, that's what we say. So, it's interesting because Tejano is still here. The thing is that we have a lot of female artists. And I say that we have a lot of female artists due to the Selena movie. if we had done a movie, this is my theory. If we had done a movie on Emilio, we would have more male talent. So we're lacking new blood. The other thing is that culturally, you know, when you're a kid, as Mexicanos, Latinos, you know, if you see, you know, everybody, you know, knows Ruben Ramos, but who knows, you know, I think like Bumper had a thing where he was talking about, like, how many new artists do you know? How many new Tejano artists have you seen come out? Have you heard?
Not many.
Right? Not many. But even if they are, people still want to, they're like, hey, play the Mas. Hey, play the Emilio. Like,
Right.
hey, wait a minute, man. There's new guys out there. So people are not as receptive. But the funny thing is that what people don't know is that, you know, media is so funny because if it's basically, you know, if you're feeding into the, you know, with the, what do they call it? The messaging, the agenda, right? Everything is force fed, you know, and we learned that a long time ago, and I think maybe we forgot about that. But people only know what they know. So if you keep feeding it to them and you take away the, you know, the old school, you know, because if this was country, I would be a has been. Because country they don't play Merle Haggard anymore.
Wow.
They don't play Willie Nelson. They don't play the older guys. Why are we still playing Mas? I love Mas, but we have new music. Okay? But the people don't want to hear. They're like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't know. That's not Tejano. Ooh.
I think that's more the generation as well. Like they don't want to hear nothing new. And it's hurting it, I think, you know. So
Yeah, so
I think part that, and like you said, son, I mean, if you were to ask me, even right now as a DJ, and it was like, hey, a new Tejano artist that's up and coming, that's fresh, a record, but all day long, you know, I know those classic cumbias that everybody's going to be asking about, right? Those Tejano artists. So I get it.
The other side is the creative side. Okay, now there's the creative side. The artists themselves. I mean, I want to hear something new from somebody. I want to hear something fresh. Like, don't give me a tribute of, you know, Sonny Osuna. I want to hear your stuff. Like, don't give me, you know, I'm tired. If I hear, you know, what is it, whatever, Ojitos Negros or all the Tony De La Rosa songs. You know, if I hear that song one more time, it's already been recorded. Don't record it again if you're conjunto. don't redo my songs. Like, so I feel like there needs to be more creativity, more new artists, more new songs. You know, it's easy I could cover any song and like, oh, here's my new song. I'm gonna do Puño de Tierra. Really? How many? You know, I'm gonna do Volver. No. So there's that side of it. You know, we need new, and then there's the songwriters. The good songwriters are not gonna write for Tejano that much anymore because there's not as much money anymore. And then you know, as it turns out, we don't use the word unfortunately. As it turns out, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
So the best songwriters are going to be on the regional Mexican side. I mean, regional Mexican is, they have the best songwriters. They have the hunger, the musicians. You know, everybody's ready to work. Everybody's ready to network. I've been there. I've been to Monitor Latino. You know, I have a lot of friends in Mexican Regional. And kudos to them. And their creativity is next level. It's norteño sax, but it's not, like my friend Carlos, it's not your daddy's norteño. This is something else.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. And the production is higher, everything. And I know it takes money. But it doesn't take a lot to get dressed up. It doesn't take a lot to look, you know, presentable,
Yep.
to have a presentable show. You know, you show up professional, you show up on time, which means early, not right on time. You're late if you're on time, like I was late today, right? And so you have to, you know, there's a lot of side stuff. So regional's kicking butt. Tejano is still here. The great thing is that we have social media, we have internet stations, we have more TV shows. We just need more. I feel we really need more talent. More talent, younger talent. The younger talent will bring in the kids. Once the kids start getting onto it, oh man, I like that. That's cool. So when we see kids, we get all excited about that. We're like, whoa, that's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so it's, and so that's how it's going to grow. But we still need the money. We still need the radio. We need the big radio stations, the big money. So
let me ask you about this. So speaking to that next generation, I think it's something that we connect on. We talk about doing some future endeavors, and it's one thing aside from maybe our professions where we're at, talents, but whether culturally or as humans, and saying, and you like you talk about that, Sonny, whether it's Tejanos or these next generations. Right now we're sitting in a room. We got 4 Hispanics, Mexicanos, Chicanos, whatever you want to call it, right? Entrepreneurs paving a way. Maybe the first generation in our family doing those kind of things or whatnot. What would you impart? What would you share? What do you see with our culture? When I say our culture, Hispanics, Mexicanos, things like that. Sure. What words of wisdom, things you would say, man, these are some of the things that are going to help open those doors. Make more money, open up opportunities. What have you seen for yourself being that individual that's just gone out there and just fulfilled probably dreams at a level that someone next to us could look at and say, hey, I never see myself in that position. So what would you share with that next generation, of kids coming up in our culture to say, hey, here's how we get better. We open up opportunities. We become those people.
I'm always going to say it's by educating ourselves. You have to educate yourself. You have to, you dress for the job that you want for tomorrow, not the one you want for today. You have to think big. Think big. Think bigger than anybody else. And you walk in like a boss, You walk in with intention. You walk in with, I say, with a person of authority, When I walk into an establishment, I don't walk in as a customer. I walk in as the owner of that establishment. So when I walk in here, Greenleaf Health and Wellness, first thing I'm going to notice is who's greeting me and how are they greeting me. And if they work for me, would I want them working for me? So you have to think big. Think big, dream big. Don't limit yourself. You can never, what did George Lopez say? You're a Mexican, not a Mexicant. You don't limit yourself. My musicians, I tell them, they say, well, we're Tejano musicians. No, you're not. You're not a Tejano musician. No, you're not. You're a musician who so happens to play Tejano. Yeah. I don't limit myself. You never limit yourself because you're the only person who can stop yourself. The way we get better is by, we do this all the time, right? Well, I don't know. They're no. Everybody's important. Everybody wants to know your story, and you can't limit yourself by race, by income, by, politicians, CEOs, athletes, entrepreneurs with CEO, people that are successful, all started in the same place. It's like when you go to the gym, you see the guy that's freaking built. He's built, big. He used to be skinny like you. Right. Or he used to be chubby like me. Right? But he worked at it. So you're like, I don't know. You don't limit yourself. I always say that. Don't limit yourself. Educate yourself. Don't limit yourself. And dream big and walk in intentional. And you're like, hey, I'm going to T3R, right? I say, well, I'm gonna present. I'm gonna present an award. I'm gonna do a performance by myself. And next year I'm gonna win. You manifest it. That's what I say.
I love that. Yeah, taking all those things, and the thing is, you're living proof. I everywhere. I mean, I walked through this door. You were here, and I felt all those same things that you just preached and talked about. So, man, I love it being an example to others of what that should look like, and fulfilling that. We get but one life, right? Yes. We get but one life.
The other thing is, the world is your stage. Everybody's watching.
Hey,
everybody's watching. You think they're not, but they are. They are. They are.
Yes, they are.
They really are. And Sonny's eating too many tacos. Look at him. Look at that little pancito. Oh, Saucy McTacos is getting thicker.
There we go. So let's wrap up here and talking about. So, I mean, what's next for Sonny Sauceda? Y'all right now on the verge. So you said you're presenting an award.
I'm presenting an award, and I'm up for 2 awards. Premios Tejanos Mundial. And then, of course, after that, we're doing the T3R. Well, no, we're doing fanfare. For Tejano Music Awards fanfares in March, spring break. And then I think the week after that's a T3R Awards for the Texas Country. And I think I'm presenting an award and I'm performing with the supergroup that they've put together. They're doing a Latino segment, right? So that's
Now,
next.
Tejano Fan Fair happened San Antonio?
That's in San Antonio at the Hemisphere Plaza during it's spring break and South by Southwest.
Got it. And then T3,
T3R.
Texas Regional Radio
Awards.
Awards.
Yes, sir.
That's happening
In March, end of March.
end of March, and that's up at Texas Live Arlington.
Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, so I've been to Texas Live. Very cool
Oh my God.
stage
It's
over
next
there.
level.
So yeah,
It's so
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, very awesome, man. So big things happening coming up, and then you've got your first Texas country
Single.
single.
Yes,
with that.
you know, we're excited about it. It's the whole Texas country thing has been crazy, the way it happened organically and just all the stars aligned for us. And but the thing is that it's not. I see a lot of Latinos doing Texas country. The thing is, this has been something that they've been asking me to do for 20 years. 25. When I was with my Tejas record label, I was with Vida. The record label people would say there were two white guys, John Whipple and Chris Leak. Or other people at these Red Dirt festivals I did. It's, Sonny, we love what you're doing, but we just wish we knew what you were saying. I said, well, I mean, we live in America. You should learn Spanish, don't you think? I said, well, so I did it. We're doing an English Sonny thing, right? And we're excited about it. People have been asking for it. And so, again, not a trend, something that we were just answering the call. And we're super excited about it because it's an opportunity. And everywhere I go, I see opportunity. That's just I'm the rosy shade red. The rosy red was the rosy shade glasses guy. Then. Yeah. And I love it. I love making music. It's another part of me. It's one of the many shades of Sunny Sauceda. And
there we go.
And we're excited.
There we go. Yeah. Man, so many big things coming up, happening in your world. It's only been 40 years in the making. So
quick 40 years,
yeah. There we go. Man, so I've enjoyed the conversation,
Thank
man.
you.
Excited about everything going on right here, man. We talked to from the Grammys to getting started at 5 years old to family dynamics, man. We talked about Saucy Methicums up in there. Little shout out to Willie Nelson, man.
That's right, Willie Nelson.
We've had it all. So, and dude, so thank you again, Sonny, for being out here on the show. We always talk about ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and you are. I mean, you are. I appreciate your humility.
I think that I'm an ordinary person that has just had a lot of extraordinary things happen to me. I'm just working, right? And what I want to say also is that, you need a good foundation. You need a good woman. My wife's been behind me. She's the one that said, are you going to be depressed or are you going to do your thing? What are you going to do? You need that tough love. You need the support. Great band, great team. We were talking earlier. You can't do it without a team. Like, yes, it's Sunny Sauceda, but I can't do this by myself. I have so many people behind me, so many people that help me. This is another part of it. And so that's why I'm always so grateful. What you see on stage is that's my Sasha Fierce, right? I walk in and I'm strutting and I'm an outlaw and I'm a badass. But when I get off stage, it's a whole different thing. I'm like, man, I'm so lucky. I break out in tears when I see what we do or we've done because I'm so grateful of every opportunity. This is an opportunity for me, and so I'm thankful, very thankful.
Yeah,
of course.
Man.
Thank you for having me.
Love the gratitude right there, y'all. So, and the words of Sunny Sauceda, the world is your stage, y'all. So my name is Jerry Sauceda with Dat DJ, our official sponsor today, man. So you can catch us at datdj.com. We love being out here, being part of the community, bringing some of the Sunny music to the stage in the world. Sunny, real quick, where can people find you? Social media, things of that sort.
My OnlyFans is. I'm just kidding. I don't have one yet. Not yet. You can sunnysauceda.net. I'm on Facebook, Sunny Sauceda. We have a band page, Instagram, Sunny Todo Eso. We're on Twitter. We're on Threads. We're on TikTok, Sunny Sauceda. Just Google Sunny Sauceda with a U and Sauceda, like sauce with a D-A. Come on.
There we go. Sauceda. That's how I'm sharing. So, from one Sauceda to another right here, y'all. Hey, and maybe looking in that camera, Sunny Sauceda, if you're watching, we need a Dat DJ collaboration. Maybe help us open up the set for you. But, man, thank you guys for rocking with us right here from the Greenleaf Health and Wellness Studios. Man, big shout out to you guys. So, Social Plug Podcast, make sure to check us out. Subscribe as well. We are officially unplugged. We'll see you next time. Love it, man.
Good job, dude. That was awesome. Man, y'all should do this more.
Good to go, man.
strong night. There's a vibe in the city I've never felt before in my life. Let's all rush and flow, make a big time after show party, yeah. If we're gonna get it right, gotta hold each other tight tonight. And the people of the world say